Ready? Welcome back to the channel, Couyons. Look, it's good to be back in the booth. Figured I'd join Ryan, and we talk about this Russell's Reserve 13 year right here.
Yeah, we got Russell's 13 barrel proof, non-chill filtered. I've been looking for this bottle for a long time. I've been wanting this. Both me and Randall, we both love Russell's. We love Rare Breed. We love pretty much everything.
Wild Turkey makes good whiskey. That's all
Turkey
it is.
does.
You know.
But this is something I got to try it a long time ago when it first came out.
You was at the New Orleans Bourbon Fest and had it, huh?
No, I was somewhere where I was supposed to not probably be trying it. But nonetheless, got to try that, and I got to try it right next to some Old Forester birthday bourbon. And y'all know how I'm a big Old Forester fan. I like this better. Now, they were brand new, fresh pops.
Yeah.
Into a solo cup, not a Glencairn or anything like that. But fresh open bottles, solo cup. This was a lot better than the birthday bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't go bourbon hunting. A lot of people like to go bourbon hunting. Bourbon was super popular even more of a year ago than it is now. It's starting to fade out a little bit with the bourbon fad, but I mean, I'm still going to buy some bourbon. I'm still going to buy whiskey. But I mean, this one, we're lucky to get our hands on it. Obviously, allocated bourbon. I took a chance. I was down one year. I think it was last year at Canadas, and we ended up doing a raffle. And I was like, yeah, I'll put my name down for a raffle if you buy a store pick or something like that. And then they ended up calling me, and we ended up winning a Russell's 13. My dad had picked it up. So that's what we got. We're going to do a little review on it.
Awesome pickup.
We ain't had a whole lot of pours out of it, but it's got enough time to air out. I poured these 2 glasses, and I find with Wild Turkey in general, all bourbon, really, all whiskey, give it time to open up a little bit, pour it in a glass, take your time with it, don't rush it. It's a 13-year-old whiskey. Yeah. We poured it and we let it sit for a while, so it's got its little time.
Roughly a minute per year is what I hear.
So coming out of Lawrenceburg, they don't have a whole lot on the bottles. They just say it was masterfully crafted. Brought to you by Master Distillers and Bourbon Hall of Famers, Jimmy and Eddie Russell, and it just says the legacy continues. So nothing on the back, just a little bit about it. They don't go crazy with it. That's the cool thing about it. It's not a whole lot of fluff. So
yeah. All right, let's give it a nose.
Word has it, though, I think they cut a little bit of Jimmy Russell's arm and bleed him out a little bit into the whiskey, and it's supposed to amp up the age on it.
Yeah, I can smell the iron content of that. All right. Man, this is I don't know if we said this already. This is a 57.4 proof, or percent alcohol, 114.8 proof. So it's got a little bit of alcohol to it. You don't get too much on the nose. It has that kind of little bit of burn to it, but it's
yeah, I don't get a whole lot of proof at all.
Yeah, the caramel really kind of takes over. Yeah,
rich caramel. Yeah, big time. Caramel and oak. I always get a maraschino cherry when it comes to Wild Turkey notes, especially with Rare Breed. This one, it's in there. You can tell it's Wild Turkey.
It's in there, though.
But it's very subtle and more, I don't know, it's in the orchestra flavors and not just holding, like, you know, its own little...
I find you get that little bit of sweet cherry note, and then you get the rye spices a little bit behind it.
I find with Rare Breed, whenever I have the Rare Breed and I'm tasting it or just nosing it, you get that maraschino cherry, like Luden's cherry note. And that thing's doing a solo. Like, you smell a cherry. With this one... It's more orchestrated. Like it's in the group of all the notes. It's not, you know, standing out by itself.
I don't know if I ever said this, but that's my favorite note in whiskey.
Cherry?
That cherry note.
Dude, Wild Turkey's got that cherry note.
That's one of the reasons why 1920 is just like my go-to, my favorite. But I love me some Russells.
And I hate to get into notes with this when we're doing this review because like it's your run-of-the-mill basic bourbon notes. You're getting cherry. You're getting a lot of caramel. You're getting vanilla.
Yeah. It's just a...
good charred oak vanilla. Like, everything you would get with bourbon, you're getting that. But it's very well put together. Yeah. I don't know how to describe that as, you know.
Very intense versions of that.
almost perfumey. You know,
Yeah.
when it
I can
comes
sit here
to
and
its
nose this all
very
day.
aromatic bourbon notes.
If you got sinus issues, man, get you a glass of this and just sniff on it all day.
Let's get into the taste of this.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Caramel and then almost like a smooth instant oak. Just the oak.
Slow
just,
build.
Yeah. And it's not like a harsh oak or anything like
Mm-mm.
that, but there's a lot of it.
Those flavors do roll for a while. Man, the finish. Man. That's the thing about a 13-year bourbon.
I said you get the caramel, then there's a vanilla, and then that cherry really kind of like impacts there, and then that oak just kind of takes over, and that's more of my second sip right there, but or maybe my third.
My first sip's still finishing. That's why you know, older bourbon. Most of the time, like we was talking about before we'd started the video, scotches, right? 20-something years, 30. That's crazy. 30-something year scotch, but like a 20-something year scotch, I would say would be old. 13-year, 12-year, 14-year, you're running a mill, and if you're gonna go really young on a scotch, 10-year or just like no age statement, you're gonna have a lot of like younger scotch. But man, 13 years is really old for a bourbon. That's almost like getting a 20-something-year-old scotch. To be honest with you, and the flavors do roll. Like there's a good like right when you taste it, you get the initial flavors of bourbon. You get that oak, you get that cherry, but then it rolls and the flavor starts transforming a little bit mid palate. You know, it's good stuff.
Yeah, man, that caramel, vanilla, cherry, oak, spice from the rye a little bit.
And the crazy thing is, I get that right away. Like the way you
Yeah.
described it, cherry, vanilla, caramel, right away, and then that oak comes in mid palate and just builds
Yeah.
and builds
And it's
and
got that long
builds.
finish. It's still got a finish going to it.
Yeah. And the spice comes in with the oak and just carries on into the finish.
I almost find like the oak is there the whole way. It's just the background though. You got all those other flavors, but the oak is just carrying in.
Yeah, it does roll mid palate though. Like I don't know, it gets darker with that oak.
That's where it picks up at.
Yeah, very good whiskey though. Like it sucks because I hate doing reviews on stuff people can't pick up all the time. That's that problem I have with it. When I did a review Mossburn. It's a Scotch whiskey, blended Scotch, and I'm like, nobody's gonna ever find this. I hate doing reviews on that because when I'm buying a whiskey, like I want to find a review on it, you know, and it's hard to pick up a bottle of this shit because it's Russell's Reserve 13. Now we were talking about it being more available. I think there was like talks with bourbon's kind of the popularity of bourbon might be in a decline. You might be able to find Russell's Reserve 13 next year, like on the shelf, sitting there, you know,
Yeah. Well, I think
with some more Buffalo Trace products.
This is going to be more probably available. They got the 15-year. We was
15
talking about
year,
maybe coming out.
Yeah.
I think there's a private barrel that they have as well. So this hopefully might become more available, potentially.
Wouldn't it be cool if this would be like the Russell's Reserve on the shelf all the time?
Oh yeah.
And you can just pick up a Russell's Reserve 13. Like you can pick up like the red label Russell's Reserve. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like Russell's Reserve, it's a red label. I always thought it was like a 10-year-old, but I think it's a blend with more of 10-year than anything.
Well, it's weird.
But
The basic bottle is a 10-year. So the regular Russell's that they have is a 10-year. And then you go to the single barrel, and that's non-age statement.
Right. Yeah. But the 10-year is like a 91 proof or something like that.
Yeah, it's
A
a much
proof.
lower proof.
Yeah.
The single barrel, I believe, is a barrel strength.
Yeah, and it's a blend. But I think they do have some pretty good whiskeys in there because it doesn't taste like a youthful taste to it. It's well blended, but
Me and Randy go back and forth with this all the time. I'm a Russell's man. He's a Rare Breed man.
you're Wild Turkey, Old Forester, right? Oh no, you talking
When it comes to
Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey,
Gotcha. Yeah, I like me some Rare Breed, man.
I like this because I think it has a little bit more rye notes to it.
Damn good whiskey though. But this is one of them. Like I was telling him, me and my dad we had popped the bottle. I think we were watching LSU game, LSU Auburn, and we were both cooking. I was outside smoking stuff. He was inside cooking something on the stove, and I tasted it and it was really good. I'm like, it's a good quality bourbon. But we both tasted it. It was like, yeah, that's really good. We put it down, and he was like, damn, like just minutes later, like 20 minutes later, he was cooking. And he's like, bro, that shit opened up. Like you let it sit for a little bit, and I think you got to give this one a little time.
Yeah, I was just literally gonna say, like, right when you started talking about it, like this last bit I just took, it was so just creamy and just enjoyable, no alcohol burn or anything like that. Till a little bit later on the finish, it kind of like popped off a little bit. It had that little bit of spice that burned to it. But man, the more you drink it, just the sweeter and just more enjoyable it becomes.
It is a whiskey to take some time with. It's good.
And at 114, almost 115, man, it drinks so perfect.
Yeah. So, price point, MSRP, 110.
Hopefully
Secondary,
that comes down if it comes more available.
Secondary, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just so wildly all over the place that it shouldn't even be a thing. But
the guy, when I tried it, the guy that had bought it, he paid $800 for
insane.
that. $800 for the birthday bourbon, I believe.
So MSRP is 110. So don't go with secondary. Like just get one from MSRP. Just wait for a little bit if you like bourbon. It'll become available.
Depending on stores, they have promotions or what you got
like a raffle.
A raffle. Like plenty of stores do raffles or whatever. Get in there, you'll get lucky eventually.
So Whiskey Couyons rating on it. Look, it's one like it's still on like my list of top 24 bourbons, along with that the review we did of the Boulder bourbon. And Boulder, I gave an 8. This one's really good, man. I'm gonna go 8.75 on this one out of 10. Really good whiskey. You can almost say 9, but I'm gonna go 8.75. I like it.
I agree. 8.75, man. Like I want to go 9, but that 9 is such a coveted score. This is about as good as you can get when it comes to bourbon, dude. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.75 is I'm doing the same. Yeah. It could probably go 9, but man, if we give something a 9, you know it's fucking.
The only bad thing about it is it's allocated and it's hard to get. That's the only issue I have with it.
That's probably the reason why it's not a 9.
Yeah.
Because if this was on the shelf and we could pick it up all day long. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we got, guys.
All right, y'all,
Russell's
man.
Reserve 13.
Like, subscribe, and
thank y'all guys for watching.
See y'all on the next video. Later.